Chris Norman, born Christopher Ward. Norman, on October 25, 1950, in Redcar, North Yorkshire, England, grew up in a household steeped in music. His father, a professional singer and entertainer, exposed him to performance from the earliest age. Music was not merely a pastime, but an intrinsic part of daily life, shaping Norman's identity from childhood. When his family moved to Bradford, he absorbed the post-war British musical culture, where rock and roll, skiffle, and early pop were reshaping youth identity. By adolescence, he had learned guitar and began performing with school friends, developing technical skill and a distinctive, husky vocal style that would define his career, forming the band that became Smokey. In the mid-1960s, Norman joined forces with school friends Alan Silson, Terry Utley, and Ron Kelly, with Pete Spencer eventually replacing Kelly. After experimenting under various names and enduring years of local performances, the group settled on the name Smokey, marking a pivotal moment in their journey. Their early years involved countless rehearsals, small gigs, and relentless persistence. Norman's voice stood out from the start with an emotional depth and authenticity that set him apart from more polished contemporaries. These formative experiences laid the foundation for the band's later success, cultivating both musical cohesion and Norman's stage presence. Breakthrough with Smokey's big break came in the mid-1970s when they connected with the renowned songwriting and production duo Nicky Chinn and Mike Chapman. With Norman's signature vocals at the forefront, the band released hits that became international anthems. Songs like Living Next Door to Alice, If You Think You Know How to Love Me, and Don't Play Your Rock and Roll to Me captured audiences worldwide. Their music combined pop sensibilities with rock energy, appealing across Europe, Australia, and the UK. Norman's husky, emotive voice lent vulnerability and relatability, making the songs resonate deeply. Smokey's rise marked the emergence of a new British sound that balanced heartfelt storytelling with accessible rock melodies. Norman as a frontman beyond his voice, Chris Norman emerged as a compelling frontman. His sincerity and charisma drew fans in, whether on stage or in recordings. By the late 1970s, the band's relentless touring and international exposure had solidified their reputation. Norman's ability to convey emotional authenticity made performances memorable, giving Smokey a distinctive edge over peers. While their success was commercial, it was also artistic, with each member contributing to the band's evolving sound. Norman, however, began sensing creative limitations, a desire to explore music beyond the constraints of group identity, foreshadowing the eventual decision that would define the next stage of his career. Leaving Smokey for solo freedom. By the early 1980s, after years of global touring and studio work, creative tension mounted. Norman longed for artistic independence, wanting to explore more personal musical expression. In 1986, he made the decisive move to leave Smokey, embracing the risks of a solo career. The transition was daunting but transformative, allowing him to redefine himself outside the framework of a band. This leap highlighted Norman's dedication to his craft and authenticity, demonstrating courage in pursuing a path less certain, yet more personally fulfilling. The decision set the stage for a new era, marked by introspection, emotional depth, and collaborative opportunities that would expand his musical influence. Solo breakthrough, Stumblin In. Norman's solo career was immediately boosted by his duet with Suzi Quatro, Stumblin In, which became an international sensation. The song showcased a softer, intimate side of his voice, revealing tenderness and emotional nuance rarely heard in his Smokey days. It introduced Norman to new audiences and demonstrated his versatility as a performer. The duet's success proved that he could thrive independently, capturing both critical acclaim and commercial popularity. It also established a collaborative relationship with Quatro, whose own resilience and talent Norman would later highlight. Stumblin' In remains a defining moment in his career, bridging past fame and future potential. Enduring international appeal. Norman's career longevity is remarkable. Decades after his initial fame, he continued to tour extensively and release new music to sold-out audiences. His performances retain the raw vocal emotion that first captivated listeners, demonstrating that authenticity can transcend decades. He honors his smoky past without relying solely on nostalgia, balancing legacy with artistic growth. His voice, weathered yet rich, with character, conveys experience and sincerity. Norman's ability to remain relevant while evolving creatively is rare, solidifying him as a respected figure in the European and international music scenes, with fans spanning multiple generations. Recognition and milestones. In 1994, Norman received CMT Europe's International Video Star of the Year award, cementing his solo career and cross-cultural resonance. The accolade reflected his visual and vocal impact at a time when music television shaped global fame. 10 years later, he participated in a German comeback show, performing Stumblin In with Suzi Quatro, blending nostalgia with renewed energy. The series concluded with a smoky reunion, highlighting the enduring bonds formed during their shared musical journey. These milestones reinforced Norman's international respect, demonstrating both the lasting popularity of his music and the continued relevance of his performances decades after his initial breakthrough. Collaborating with Suzi Quatro, Norman has often spoken about Suzi Quatro's influence on rock music. He admires her resilience, talent, and ability to command any room while maintaining humility and humor. He notes the pressures Quatro faced, working twice as hard to be taken seriously in a male-dominated industry. While many artists were molded and packaged by management, she preserved her identity, refusing to conform. Norman emphasizes that fairness and acknowledgement of her contributions are essential. Her courage and artistic integrity set a benchmark for peers and successors alike, demonstrating how talent, perseverance, and authenticity can redefine expectations for female rock artists. Reflections in later years. At 75, Norman reflects candidly on the music scene and his contemporaries. Age has afforded him honesty, allowing him to set aside ego and rivalry to recognize contributions fairly. He speaks of Quatro with admiration, acknowledging her place in rock history not as a novelty, but as a pioneering artist. Past misunderstandings and tensions have softened over time. He views his era as a shared struggle to succeed, one that fostered respect rather than resentment. Norman's reflections reveal a deep understanding of legacy and history, offering younger musicians lessons in courage, perseverance, and the importance of honoring fellow artists' influence. Continuing influence and legacy, Norman's career demonstrates rare balance. He honors the past while embracing new artistic directions. His live performances remain powerful, emotionally resonant, and technically skilled. By mentoring and reflecting on contemporaries like Quatro, he ensures that the stories and struggles of the rock era are remembered. His music continues to reach new audiences while satisfying longtime fans, proving that artistic authenticity and longevity are compatible. Norman's voice and performances embody the cumulative wisdom of decades in the industry, offering a template for musicians seeking both relevance and integrity in an ever-evolving musical landscape. A heartfelt tribute. Chris Norman's words today carry the weight of experience, providing insight into a transformative period in music history. His tribute to Suzi Quatro highlights not only her talent, but her resilience in an era of significant pressure and gender disparity. Norman's reflections are shaped by time and perspective, showing that respect, acknowledgement, and fairness define enduring legacies. By sharing these experiences, he not only honors Quatro, but affirms the shared journey of artists navigating fame, creativity, and personal growth. His message underscores the importance of courage, authenticity, and recognition in shaping both music and history. Conclusion. From his early days in Red Card to international stardom with Smokey and a thriving solo career, Chris Norman's journey reflects talent, perseverance, and emotional authenticity. He has continually evolved while remaining true to his musical instincts, earning respect worldwide. His reflections on Suzi Quatro and their shared era provide both a tribute and a historical account of rock music's transformation. At 75, Norman exemplifies longevity, integrity, and mentorship. His enduring voice, heartfelt performances, and thoughtful reflections ensure that his influence will continue to inspire both fans and musicians, preserving the legacy of an extraordinary era in rock history.